Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Gifted Monkey TV, all things toy and toy related. I'm your host, Jordan Preston, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at an action figure from Hot Toys based on one of the fastest drawing, bounty hunting, gunslinging, low down vermin scourges of the Old West. If the Old West was out there. And we're back, and as promised, here we are. Hot Toys, CAD BANE 1/6 scale action figure, one of the more popular characters in the Star Wars mythos. Look at this box, it is fantastic. We'll take a closer look at this box and get into it and see what we got going on. And as promised, look at this great looking box. A great action pose of CAD BANE, the gunslinger, right on the front with Star Wars embossed on there. A nice little wraparound feature there here of CAD BANE here. And a nice little Star Wars background on the side. You see the other hand of CAD BANE. Same vision of the background. One of the cities from the Star Wars mythos. On the back we have the name CAD BANE and all the indicia of all the people responsible for bringing us this wonderful figure from the people at Hot Toys. And on this side we got CAD BANE and his little one there, 360 right there, hanging out there, his droid. We turn it back to the front, and there we go. This is nice, with a black and a deeper black there. And on the top, it says Star Wars. On the bottom, Star Wars again. Let's say we crack this box open and see who's cooking. And as we open up our box of CAD BANE from Hot Toys. Here we go. Wow, this is kind of nice. Got a nice little inlay here of CAD BANE, a nice little pose with his droid right on the side. It's 360 droid right there. CAD BANE, Star Wars, CAD BANE name. Very nice. Let's take this little inlay out. Nice and easy. And there we go. I hope that glare isn't too much for you, but we have a nice CAD BANE figure. And look at that blue of his face pulling out in the camera right there. So nice. The blue of his face is so nice and strong right there. All right. I like it. Let's see what we got going on with these accessories. Now, CAD didn't come with a whole lot of accessories, but he did come with some nifty, great accessories that you would want in your CAD BANE figure. We have his torch that comes out of his wrist, his blowtorch that comes out of his wrist, nicely done in a nice lucite. Colored lucite plastic, very nicely done. We get his two much needed 6 shooters, and we get 3 sets of hands, 2 fists, 2 gun trigger hands, and 2 kind of relaxed posed hands. I like these relaxed posed hands. Look like he's getting ready to draw. Fingers resting lightly on the gun barrel or the gun handle. Like that. I like those. The guns are highly detailed. They look great. Kind of throwback to the Old West. I love it. With a little twist of something funky like the trigger. Look at that trigger. Nice. Good detailing on that gun too. Look at that. And the gun's plastic, no metal parts at all on this. But it really looks great, doesn't it? Let's take one more close look at that lucite. That flamethrower effect comes out of his wrist. The gauntlet. Very nice. What else did he come with? Like I said, CAD BANE came with some nifty products. Here you go. Well, he also comes with this great rendition of his faithful droid Toto 360. Nice. Now this is in plastic, but it looks really cool. It's weathered on the side very nicely. It's nice plastic and a little heft to it. Very nice. Doesn't have any light up features or anything, but really cool. Pegs on the bottom because They give you two things here that you can change and snap together and make him on wheels, because sometimes he'd go on wheels or sometimes he would fly and hover. And they have two little exhausts here. One that I can't find is in my box, but I'll find it. But this is one of the exhausts that peg in also into his feet. We'll show you that later. We get two exhausts for the boot jets on CAD BANE. Nice. Nice crystallized how they did that. Look at that. Almost looks like ice, doesn't it? They go on either side of his boot. We get two extra wrist pegs. We get a little antenna. Be careful with this. These things are very, you can lose a lot of these little pieces just on opening your box, like I did with those little exhausts for Toto. One of them fell out the box and hit the floor, and I didn't have time to look for it before I shot this. But you get two of those. One's on the floor somewhere. But these little things like this can fall out your box easy. This is the deluxe set, which comes with Toto 360. The regular does not. And they haven't even shipped the regular as of this filming. So I don't even know if they're even going to come out with a regular one. But this goes onto the tank on the back of CAD BANE's breathing apparatus on his back tank. It's a little small piece. See my hand? It's a little small piece. What else did it come with? Good stuff. It's actually based on not this guy. Wait for it. He's actually based on not that guy, but this guy, Lee Van Cleef. Look at that. That's CAD BANE. That's right. Lee Van Cleef was the prototype for CAD BANE, the gun western toting gunslinger. And here we got a nice base as the last but not least of the gifts that Hot Toys has given us. The nice stand says Star Wars CAD BANE. Mine still has the plastic on it. Haven't taken it off yet. There it goes. Footprint of CAD BANE. You can see the footprint before. That's pretty nice little detail. It's a nice little desert stand. Got a little heft to it. Let's look at the last piece of accessories that come with CAD. And a little see-through clear stand for Toto 360. So he can leap or fly or whatever you like. Translucent. Nice. What say we get into these figures and see what they're about? And there he is, the Scourge of the Space West, CAD BANE. 6 shooters exposed. Looks pretty awesome, doesn't he? Oh yeah. And we just pop his hat on, like so. And there he is. There he is. Let's take a look at what he can do. Tavic's great. This figure has Velcro clothes. See, open up. They can take, so you can actually take this off. I don't know why you would, but you can take this off. The jacket is also removable. You just have to take off the hands, slide these gauntlets off. But I would tell you this, everything on here feels very fragile. So I wouldn't mess around with it a lot of taking off stuff and a lot of customizing, because you might mess it up a little bit. But this jacket and the vest can come off, as well as probably the gun belt. Look at the gun belt right there. He's got a nice set of bullets on there. Here's the other gun belt part, brought down to his 6 shooters. Right there. Nice. Nice. Gun goes easily into his hand like that. I did say easily, right? Let me take his hand off first and put that on there, and then I'll give it right back. Always on live TV, you know. That only happens when it's live. Like I said, these parts, even the gun, very fragile. So you don't want to be heavy-handed with it, and you want to take your time with that, because it's very, very tricky. Even that little trigger piece that's on the gun could pop off and break easily. So you want to be careful with that. Down to his boots. Now, CAD Bane stands very nicely on his own. Doesn't really need his stand, but the stand is nice, but you don't need it. As you can see, he's standing here without any stand. His hands get a nice double bend in the elbows. We'll take his hat off for a minute. Neck goes up about up to there, down to here. Nice side to side. Watch out for these things that pop out. They go right back in, but they can pop out too. Like I said, everything is kind of fragile on him. So you got to be really careful. See, it popped out, but you just stick it right back in. You get a waist bend of about this much on CAD, all the way down. Up. Nice double jointed knee in there with the boot. Down. I leg about out that much. Nice bending on this guy. Nice swivel with the boot. There is no movement in the boot because the boot is not double jointed. The boot is one solid piece and it's hard plastic. So there is none, but you can get a little tilt up and a little tilt down inside the boot at the ankle. But that's it. And of course you get a pivot. So that's very good. Beautiful detail on that jacket. There's that back piece, breathing apparatus that he has. Very nice. Let's look at those gauntlets. Those gauntlets on him are very cool. These are all plastic. None of the buttons work. No light up features. But they look nice. They're nicely painted. They're all nicely painted. Connecting up under his jacket sleeve. Going right into his gauntlet. Nice tubing right here. Going around here. His gauntlet. Again on this side nicely. Again, no light up features. Just nicely painted. Extra bullet cartridges coming out of his gauntlet. Very nice. Jacket is all cloth material. Very nice insignias right here. Very nice insignias right here. Belt. Boot. Nice steel toes on the end of the boot. But those are plastic, but they look steel toes, so very nice. And great look again in the face. You see his plate on his head. Let's see what else he can do. So one of the easy, cool things they did with CAD Bane and his effects is that flamethrower effects that CAD Bane can shoot out his gauntlets when he needs to. Here's the flame, the translucent flame, and you see that little prong here, those two prongs, look like a fork? You just take it and easily put it right into his wrist, between the gauntlet and his hand, and let it sit right there. And there it goes. And that looks like he's shooting it out of his gauntlet. Isn't that cool? That is the effect right there. Also, for his foot, for his jets, CAD Bane can fly, but sometimes with the assist of some jets on the side of his boot. You just take out the piece, this piece right here will come out on the side of his boot, both sides it'll come out. And you take the accessory of the rocket thrust and you put it right inside that hole where it came out. Oops, my bad. There we go. You put it right inside the hole and it stays in there like that, and it gives you the appearance that his boot thrusters are working and he's flying. Isn't that cool? Two nice accessories they put on there. Very good. Still loving that steel toe on that boot. And here we see his accomplice, Toto 360, the droid. Nice little accessory to add on to this in the deluxe package of the CAD Bane from Star Wars. He's painted, got a nice little heft to him. He's plastic, pure plastic, no metal pieces at all, but he looks nice. The paint scruffing on the side, like he's been seeing some things, some damage, some wear and tear through the years. Faithful accomplice to CAD. Nice. No light up features at all. This is just very highly day glow type painted eyes, but there's no highlight, no robotics, no animatronics of this of any type, no batteries, nothing, just a solid plastic. But he does have some mobility. His arms can move around like that. They're just going to swirl. His head could go in a 360, up not too far, down very far like that. The waist has no mobility. It looks like he should be able to slide forward and whatnot and move around on his waist. There's no mobility on his waist whatsoever. Legs can kick out far. See the holes on the bottom? Legs can kick out. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. Also, the holes serve some purposes. Remember those little rocket thrusters I showed you earlier? I lost one. It fell on the floor when I opened the package to show you guys. I still haven't gone to look for it yet. But both rocket thrusters fit right in that hole. Would look like that. Very nice. They can levitate and fly and hover. Very good. Also, a nifty thing they did. If you take off from the ball joint his legs, add these new legs they gave you into the ball joints. Into the ball joints. Then put him down, take off his feet from both the extended legs, put one on each into the connectors like so, and like so. Then join them together, and there you have it. It looks like he's on a roll. He's on a roll. Doesn't move, not articulated, just does not rotate at all, but it looks like that. Like I said, they did some nice quick saves on these accessories that you pull this off, stick this on here, and it looks great. Not practical, doesn't move anywhere, but it looks wonderful. And then up here, of course, comes with his little flight stand, which you put it on here. The ball joint on the top of the flight stand goes in his bottom right here. And there you go, he levitates. He is in the air, ladies and gentlemen, in the air. There we go. And looking at CAD Bane, our final thoughts on this figure as we look at the actual whole figure. I put him in a quick pose for you guys. That gun belt and boots. There's Toto 360 right next to him on a little hover pad. There's the Star Wars stand. It looks very nice, huh? His feet fit really nicely into those boot impressions on that sand base. I don't even have the tubing in the back because it doesn't need it for him to stand. So I can show you, get the idea what he looks on the stand. Very nice. Very nice. Let's take a full look at him there. There we go. Nice. They did such a great job on this CAD Bane. They really did a nice job. I enjoy it very much. I love the hat. The hat is nice and firm. Usually when you get hats like this, like even on Blitzway Zorro, sometimes they have a tendency, when I watch the reviews, to be bent because they have to be so round and crisp. This is a felt-like hat, but it's really nice and it's solidly around. They did a nice firmness and it's not bent at all. Just like Lee Van Cleef, the guy this is based off of, he wore a lot of hats like this and they were solidly around like that. I love that. Great, great detail on his face. The action on his face is fantastic. The hosing going in. I love the tubes. I love his gauntlets, the light, vibrant blue against this nice pale blue of his face is fantastic the way they did that. I like the way the people who made him for the Book of Boba Fett series made him look a little more humanistic, and they kind of modified him a little bit from the animation version, and they did a great job of transferring that over to a live look. I love the detail on the guns. It's fantastic. Look at that gun. The gun detail and the light picks it up is just really fantastic. The jacket fabric, the tubing running into his jacket, I love. Of course, I love the breathing apparatus. They took that reel that looks great right out of the series. Book of Boba Fett looks down to every detail. I love the jacket at the bottom, how it has that little, fetch area right there. It connects them together, the seams. I love the boots. The boots are really awesome as we take a lot of nice weathering on those boots. Look at that. That's great. And then they put a little steel toe type of look on the boots. Once again, plastic. But it's nice. The bandoleros on his feet of the bullets. The jean material. It's not jean, but it's thick like a jean material on his pants are very nice. The light material on his jacket is very nice. All the face plates look great. They did a really nice job on this guy. And just kind of a close-up shot of how CAD will appear in my collection in this pose. Not quite a museum pose, but nice. I got this pose inspired by the movie Silverado at the end when they have that showdown of the crooked sheriff. He pulls his jacket to one side like that, and they say goodbye to each other. He means business right there. Holding his jacket to one side as he gets ready to fire. And you know when he draws down, he's the fastest there is, and that he doesn't miss. So that's how he will live in a pose in my collection. And he won't have Toto with him because Toto, though a nice addition, was not at all in the Book of Boba Fett. So I'm going to do mine based on the Book of Boba Fett appearance. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for joining us today as we took a look at CAD BANE from the Star Wars TV show on Disney Plus, Book of Boba Fett. This guy really looks great. They did a great translate from the TV show to this 1/6 scale figure. The fabric of the clothing is great. The wonderful height. This guy comes in at 13 inches. So he's going to be taller than all the rest of your Star Wars figures, most of your Star Wars figures. But that's great because he's tall, lanky, and menacing. Just like the real-life actor he's based on, Lee Van Cleef, was over 6 feet tall, lanky, and menacing looking. They made him the same way when they made the figure. That's fantastic. He looks great. Now, the points that I don't like, maybe he's a little fragile. Every time you try to bend him into some position, you got to be very careful. A, not to mess with this brim of this hat, which will crinkle easy because it's hard felt material. Also, the tubing will pop out if you're moving his head too radically. And also his guns, the little triggers on the guns going into his hard plastic fingers will possibly break off. So you got to be careful with that. All the parts on him are very fragile and can break easily. That's something that they couldn't help, but it's something that's, really frustrating when you're trying to get him into a cool pose. So just be careful. Also, there are no light up features on either 360 Toto or on him. No light up features, no moving features as far as barrels turning into guns or anything like that, eyes lighting up. But the face plates, 3 face plates are great. Now this is the deluxe version. The deluxe version is going to run you somewhere around $350 up to $375, maybe $400. Depending on where you're at. Tax and licenses out the door. That's an expensive venture. Should you get him? Well, if you collect all things Star Wars, then I'm preaching to the choir because I know you're going to get CAD BANE. The only caveat is Hot Toys has teased an animated version of CAD BANE. So it depends. If you like the animated version with the larger brim and a slightly different face, then you'll go toward that or the live action CAD BANE. But you gotta have a CAD BANE in your Star Wars collection if you collect all things Star Wars or a lot of Star Wars, because villain-wise, this guy's very popular and he's badass and he fits perfectly into the motif of your Star Wars collection. Guarantee it. So yeah, he's a definite get. Man, this guy is really cool. I love him. What do you think? Do you guys like CAD BANE? Are you going to get a CAD BANE? If you are, which one are you going to get? You're going to hold out for the animated version, or are you going to go straight for this guy? I would suggest if you go this guy, get the deluxe version. I'm not going to pose him with my Toto 360 because it wasn't like that. He didn't make an appearance, spoilers, he didn't make an appearance in the actual TV show. So he won't be in my actual pose. But if you ever want him for resale value, or if people looking for the best one, it's going to be deluxe all the time. That's a tip. Always get the deluxe if you can, because it's good for resale value. So I would get the deluxe. I don't know what comes in the standard one without the deluxe. I think he does not come, and maybe you don't get 3 different faceplate swaps. But those 3 faceplate swaps are aces. They did a great job on the sculpting and detailing. This guy looks immaculate. The details on the gun are fantastic. He looks like he stepped right out of the TV show Book of Boba Fett. So I hope that answers all your questions. Write down below and let me know. Hit the like button. And thank you guys for supporting us. You guys are really awesome. And write down any comments because you know I get back to each and every one of you. Take care. And remember, collecting toys, even a 1/6 scale Star Wars from the Book of Boba Fett, CAD BANE, can be as fun as a barrel of monkeys. But respect the monkey, partner. Take care, guys.